Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. Thank you for coming and joining me today. Today I am showing you a painting that I am doing on a wood slice. This is a wood slice that has been primed 4 times with white paint because wood soaks up a lot of paint. I'm sketching out the image here. It is a picture I took of a goose on the other side of 2 bushes. I was on one side, he was on the other, and he was just positioned so perfectly with the gazebo in the background. Today we're going to be starting with the roof of the gazebo in the background. For me, it's a lot easier to just start painting, and the more I can get the background done and the objects in the background completed, the faster I can get down into the details of the focal point, which would, in this particular instance, would be the goose. Now I am moving on to the foliage and the trees in the background. Now there are a lot of trees because there is a park right on the other side of this gazebo. There is that main focal tree next to the gazebo. And I didn't really work too hard on getting every little detail of the tree in this painting because it would take me all day. And the focal point is the goose, so I'm just kind of blocking it in to give you the illusion of the foliage and the trees in the background. And now we're going to work on the bushes. Now, since these bushes are a lot closer to me, they are a lot darker. The sun is shining behind the bushes and on the foliage in the background. So what I am seeing on my side of the bushes are dark leaves. And I'm so sorry again for the camera shaking and all that. I know I said in the last video that I had gotten updated things to help stabilize my recordings and stuff, and I have, but this was just a video that I had recorded previously. I believe it was around the same time I did the jumping spider video, and I will leave a link to that video if you want to see it in the description and up in the corner. But yeah, I'm finishing up the bushes here. Like I said, just trying to get the general blocking done. Now I'm moving on to the ground. Now there's a lot of darkness on my side. Like I said, I'm on one side of the bush, he's on the other. So I'm kind of like trying to put in that happy medium between light and dark, which I'm now getting used to on such a small object that I'm painting on. And here is where I'm putting in the sun shining on the dirt path back there. So yeah, there is a lot of detail, but like I said before, I'm just gonna put in the illusion of the dirt and the grass and the walkway that's over there too, because the main focal point that I want to focus on today is the goose. Okay, that is a brick base. Yeah, that's the base of the gazebo. It's made out of brick. This is the dirt that's on my side because there's nothing on my side but dirt. So I'm just putting that in there. Dirty leaves, dead grass, you know. It's not very pleasing on my side of the bush. Okay, now I'm putting in the trunk of the tree that is on the right side of the gazebo. And I do admit I spent a little bit too much time on this tree, and I was just, trying to make it look like it does in real life. It was kind of difficult. Okay, now it's time for the goose. He is, I believe he's a Canadian goose, but they are around here a lot where I live. They fly over every morning and every evening, and there's hundreds of them. They are all over the place. I just thought it would be so nice to paint this beautiful picture of him, but I'm blocking him in right now, getting the basic details in. Okay, now I wanted to take a break from that and paint a little more detail on the gazebo. Very, very thin lines here, trying to give the illusion from the viewer that there is a gazebo there. Now a little light on the path. I am so sorry for all the shaking. I'm so glad I upgraded. Now for the fun part. Now we're going to put in the details of his feathers. He had fluffed up in this picture, so I kind of gave like the view of that. You could see like the white I just put on there made it look like his feathers were fluffing, and his tail. He was really pretty. There were so many babies around too. I wish a couple of babies would have been there. Okay, onto his face to make him look even more beautiful. Yeah, I put that eye in and it just didn't go right. It's really hard to paint on such a small surface, for me anyway. I have a lot of people asking me all the time, are you going to ever paint a mural? Like, I want to, but yeah, here is the fluff. I want to paint a mural, but that's like really, really big. And you just kind of have to work yourself up. The bigger the canvas, you know. But I'm really used to small ones. Okay, so fixing his face. This took so much time trying to get all the little details. And I got the tiniest brush. This brush, I don't know if you can see that, but I cut half of the bristles off just to make it have a tiny point on it. The tiniest little point on the end of the brush. And here I am putting the fluff in of his feathers. Little beady tiny strokes to give the feathered effect. Okay, now I have to go in and do I'm not doing every shingle on the roof. I'm just highlighting a few of them. That way you can tell that it is a shingled roof without doing every little detail. Just a little shading and shadows, and I go back to his head. I have to wait for the paint to dry, so a lot of times I just go from one end of the painting to the other, back and forth, just waiting on paint to dry. I'm like, is there something I can be doing here? Should I be working on something there? Can I go back? Yeah, here's me trying to do the eyeball. It is so tiny. So tiny. And now a little bit of detail on the bush. I'm just going to come in with a few different colors, light and darks, to kind of give those individual leaves some dimension. Trying to add more and more depth and dimension to my painting. Now, I know this tree looks a little funny because of the sun shining on it. That is what it looked like in the image. And I will attach the image at the end if you would like to see it. I think the painting, personally, is a lot more brighter than the image. And that was on purpose because I wanted you to see what I saw, you know? Again, adding some little highlights of the sun shining through on some of the leaves. Just adding those little tiny details. Now, I did go a little leaf crazy on this, but I was really trying to emphasize of what you could see through that bush and what you couldn't see through the bush. And then adding more grass down there because the dirt side, I didn't want so much of that dirt side showing. So I just kind of blended that in to make it look like there was more grass. Now I'm pushing some of those leaves out from the bush to give it more of a realistic look, like the branches are sticking out. And then highlighting some more, just adding the final little details. Okay, now I'm adding in some leaves because there are some leaves on the ground down there, and I really didn't know how to go about that. So I just added some brown and greens and some burnt umber is what I use for those. Or sienna, burnt sienna, sorry. But anyway, guys, this is going to be the end of the video coming up. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm finishing up the last details here. And I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, then please feel free to subscribe. I'm working hard on building my YouTube channel. And if you would kindly help me out, I would greatly appreciate it. I love you guys, and I hope to see you next time.